Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as the case may be for all of you in different parts of the world. A very happy International Day of Medical Physics to you. This is the day for us to feel proud of being a medical physicist. This is the day for us to feel and renew our commitment to patient care. This is a day to see how we, those who have, can help other colleagues, those who do not have. And again, this is the day to invigorate ourselves to excel in whatever we do by taking our inspiration from Marie Curie, in whose honor and memory this day was established as IDMP by IOMP 7 years ago. It's incredible honor for me to welcome you all today on this IDMP webinar, the representative of international organizations like IAEA, the leadership and representation of regional organizations, and in fact, to all of you from different parts of the world. I am conscious that at this time, it is 11 p.m. in Australia, 9 p.m. in Japan, and in Far East around similar time. And in western part of US, it is 4 a.m., but at my place, it is 7 a.m. So thank you all for your participation. Before we start, there are two things which we always mention. First is that the recorded webinars are always made available within 48 hours on the IOMP website. So you will have access to this webinar also. Further, we have the chat box, which you can use for raising your questions, and we will try to answer within the available time. We have maintained the time of 60 minutes as always, and we prefer to do that. And with shortage of time, I will have very short introduction for speakers, and we will go ahead now. And my first important task today is to announce the winners of IDMP, the International Day Medical Physics 2020 Awards, which have been decided by the Awards and Honors Committee only 2 days ago. We have from Asia, Tae-Suk Su, IFOMP, IFMP, Latin America, Carlos Almeida, IFOMP Europe, Oliver Blank, FEMPO Africa, Christoph Traunminch, MIFOMP Middle East, Mohammad Hassan Khrita, who is present today, and maybe others also, CFOMP Southeast Asia, Zarwani Sojko, and AAPM Robert J. Raj. Congratulations to all the winners of the award. We will start with the presentation. The very first speaker today is Dr. Ola Holmberg. And since he is introducing himself in the recorded video, he is present live at the moment, but we have a recorded video from him. So I'll play the recorded video to save the time.
Hello, my name is Ola Holmberg, and I'm the head of the Radiation Protection of Patients Unit of the International Atomic Energy Agency in Vienna, an organization in the family of United Nations organizations. I have worked as a medical physicist for many years in Sweden, Ireland, Holland, and Denmark, and I'm grateful for this invitation by the IOMP to say a few words about medical physicists from the perspective of international safety standards. This Saturday, November the 7th, 2020, is the International Day of Medical Physics, and it's important to acknowledge this safety-critical profession. The IAEA has a statutory role in accelerating and enlarging the contribution of atomic energy, which is interpreted to include uses of radiation, to peace, health, and prosperity in the world. The statutory role also includes establishing international safety standards in this field and to provide for the application of these standards, which means to help member states to implement the standards. The IAEA does this work together with other United Nations organizations, such as the World Health Organization, and also with other agencies. When it comes to the medical uses of radiation, there are two main international safety standards that are relevant. The main one is the International Basic Safety Standards, or the BSS, which was published in 2014 and is co-sponsored by 8 international organizations, including the WHO, the Pan American Health Organization, and the International Labour Organization. It sets the basic requirements for radiation protection and safety in all uses of radiation sources, not only the medical uses. It is not mandatory for a member state of the IAEA to have the BSS implemented in their country, but when a country receives technical assistance from the IAEA, they need to first ensure that they have implemented a certain level of safety as indicated by the BSS on what constitutes a high level of protection and safety. It's also used as a template for national regulations in many countries. The BSS is complemented by the Safety Guide on Radiation Protection and Safety in Medical Uses of Ionizing Radiation, or SSG 46, which provides more specialized guidance on fulfilling the BSS requirements in medical settings for patients, health workers, and the public. It was published in October 2018, and you can find this safety guide and also the BSS for free on the internet through any search engine. In the BSS, the medical physicist is defined as a health professional with specialist education and training in the concepts and techniques of applying physics in medicine, who is competent to practice independently in one or more of the subfields or specialities of medical physics. For example, diagnostic radiology, radiation therapy, and nuclear medicine. It's also emphasized that the competence of persons is normally assessed by the state by having a formal mechanism for registration, accreditation, or certification of medical physicists in the given specialty, and that states that have yet to develop such a mechanism need to assess the education, training, and competence of any individual and to decide whether such an individual could undertake the functions of a medical physicist within the required specialty. So what roles do the basic safety standards have for the medical physicist? There are requirements for both therapeutic, diagnostic, and interventional procedures that calibration, dosimetry, and quality assurance, which includes acceptance testing and commissioning of medical radiation equipment, are fulfilled by or under the supervision of a medical physicist. And furthermore, there are a number of tasks that the BSS requires are done in cooperation with the medical physicist, such as these listed here. To summarize, the medical physicist has a formal definition in the International Basic Safety Standards for the safe use of radiation sources. There are specific requirements for education, training, and competence, including specialization for the medical physicist as a health professional. There are specific requirements for what safety critical tasks are required to be fulfilled by or under the supervision of a medical physicist. And there are specific requirements for what safety critical tasks are required to be fulfilled in cooperation with a medical physicist. Keeping the population safe, and that means the patients, the workers, and the public, means that these requirements must be formalized and implemented. You can visit our website at this address. Happy Medical Physics Day, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ola. Can you wave yourself, Ola, to the audience? I should have asked that before. Good to see you, and everyone can see Ola. You can say hi. Maybe you can unmute and say hi to.
I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, Madan, and thank you, IOMP, and also congratulations on this International Day of Medical Physics from Vienna. So thank you.
Thank you. So we will go to the next presentation, and the next presentation is again from...
Hello. My name is... Hello.
The next presenter is also from the IAA, from the other part of IAA, Dr. Georgia Loretti. She is a training officer at the IAA. Her work focuses on ensuring access to quality education in medical physics, adherence to standards, as well as recognition of medical physics profession. She worked previously as a clinical medical physicist at the University Hospital in Bologna in Italy. So let me start her presentation. Maybe you can also say hello, Georgia, to others before I start your presentation.
Yes, hello everybody. It's a great pleasure to be connected with you today from Vienna. And I would also like to congratulate all of the awardees for their award today. Thank you.
Thank you, Georgia. And let me start.
It is an honor and a great pleasure for me to represent the DMRP section of the IAA in this IOMP webinar in the occasion of the International Day of Medical Physics 2020. This year's topic is a crucial one: medical physicist as a health professional. It is a topic that lies at the heart of all activities of the IAA in support of medical physics. To celebrate this day, a webpage has been published yesterday on the IAA Idmp website, and you can access this page through this QR code that I have embedded on my slide. On this page, you will find videos, links to documents, and also this e-flyer that I have also embedded on my slide, where you can see that we have added the sentence, "Do you recognize me?" This to highlight the lack of formal acceptance of medical physicists as part of the health workforce in most of the world. This absence of professional recognition can hinder the access to adequate academic education, clinical training, as well as continuous professional development, therefore undermining the application of best practices and affecting quality of care for the benefit of patients. On the newly released Human Health Campus webpage, you will find official IAA video statements, as well as videos of medical physicists describing their contribution to healthcare in their specialties, as well as videos of medical physicists from all over the world. Videos of medical doctors explaining the importance of recognizing medical physicists as health professionals. And you are encouraged to use these videos to make the case in support of medical physicists as health professionals in your reality. On the webpage, you will also find links to tools and documents of the IAA. For example, publications that clearly refer to medical physicists as health professionals, or that describe the roles and responsibilities of medical physicists working in a clinical environment, or publications that provide tools to calculate, for example, the need of medical physicists in imaging and in therapy. Medical physics has been included among the healthcare professions by the International Labour Organization already in 2008 in the publication International Standard Classification of Occupations. Despite this and the previously mentioned IAA publications, there is a widespread lack of formal recognition of medical physicists as health professionals. Medical physics suffers of the lack of understanding of its nature, as well as of preconceptions about the role of science in medicine. Medical physicists suffer of the typical downsides that affect all minorities. In fact, medical physicists are a minority with all related professional and social consequences. One of the first consequences is the invisibility of medical physicists in clinical settings and their marginalization from decision-making processes, which also affects the professional practice of medical physicists as well as their professional self-definition. Another important downside is the unequal access to education and training opportunities, including continuous professional development, which has an impact on the effectiveness of the profession and its contribution to healthcare. To counterbalance these challenges, it is important to break from isolation, reach out to other medical physicists, think in terms of a community, working toward a creation of partnerships and scaling up our actions. The recognition as a health professional doesn't have to be fantasy. And connecting together like we are in fact doing today is the first step toward finding solutions. Thank you, and happy International Day of Medical Physics.
Thank you, Georgia. And now
it is an honor.
Now we have our IDMP coordinator, Dr. Ibrahim Doheny. He's treasurer of IOMP also. He is chief medical physicist and RSO at Rafiq Hariri University Hospital, Beirut, and medical physics instructor at Lebanese University. So over to you, Ibrahim, please. You have to unmute yourself, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, we can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself? He was tested already. So what happened to last time? Also, sometime his internet is irregular. So let me see if I can see him. I think his internet is problematic, like sometime earlier. So what we can do is we can—
Yes, hello. Okay. I'm back on, yes.
So your internet is always problematic. Okay, please carry on.
Good morning, good afternoon to everybody, every medical physicist worldwide. It's my pleasure to see many common faces. Unfortunately, we could not meet in person, but thanks for the organizers to have a web-page conference to congratulate you. My topic is how can we join efforts as medical physicists to endure with COVID-19 worldwide? And as you well know, many of us suffering from this pandemic worldwide. And one of the suffering is that we could not meet this year. And many of our events has to be postponed because of this pandemic. So as a medical physicist, what we can do to join hands and join efforts with other professionals in the medical sector to help patients endure this. First, we can work side by side by radiologists to establish guidelines for imaging protocols for the COVID-19 infected patients. And this is, for example, what is the best way to image the COVID-19? Is it using X-rays or CTs? And which is better reveals the diagnostic value of the image. Second, to modify intrinsic factors to enhance the quality and visibility of COVID-19 diagnostic imaging. And this is through training and education. We can be part of this training and educations to the sectors of medical field, diagnostic especially. Third, we can arrange with radiation oncologists to work out a modified fractionation scheme for the best interest of radiotherapy patients and staff, treating them for the sake of lowering timing exposures among all. And we heard from many colleagues around the world that because of the exposure to COVID-19 patients, many of the schemes reduced fractionation, but of course increasing the fraction per treatment. This will help also patients and staff from not getting the infection. Fourth, we propose and work out with other clinical and academic colleagues some scientific research on the possibility of using radiation in the treatment of COVID-19 patients. And I'm sure that many of you have news that radiation could be used as a treatment option for COVID-19. This is under research still, and we will see in the next coming year many publications in this regard. Fifth is to participate with health authorities in many countries in helping out in this pandemic, since we are medical physicists, the truly healthcare professionals. As our theme for this year is to be well recognized as a healthcare profession. And in many parts of the world, medical physicists are helping hand in hand with other medical professions to make sure that the patients undergoing treatment or diagnosis who have COVID-19 to be treated equally as other non-infected patients. At the end, I would like to wish all of you a happy Medical Physics Days, and I'm sure that everybody sees this and they can recognize their, greetings in their language. And I would say it in my language, is this one here: يوم الفيزياء الطبية سعيد لجميع الفيزيائيين. Thank you very much again for this opportunity to see you online, and happy Medical Physics Day.
Thank you, Ibrahim. So now I see there are around 550 people, and let me have a quick poll. All right, so I suppose you can see the question in front of you. Have you faced a problem in being recognized as a health professional? I see the answers coming. I see almost 100%, 100 people have already responded, 150, 170, quick response. All right, so we have almost half. Interesting. So can you see the results? I think yes. Okay, so let us close this and let me go back to sharing the screen. So I'll be now giving a brief information about this topic. As everyone knows, we have the IDMP celebration every year on 7th of November. And thanks to you again for your participation on this Saturday. Despite being Saturday, we have more than 550 people, what I saw a few minutes ago. And every year we decide the theme, and for 2020, we decided, the ExCom of IOMP decided the theme to be medical physicist as a health professional. What is the basis of choosing this theme? In some countries, medical physicists do face the problem, and what the problem is that not the same designation, pay, promotion avenues like other colleagues, like with a similar qualification like biophysicist or clinical scientist, or officially informed that you are not health professional, or medical physicist is not a health, medical physics is not a health profession in the list. So that was a situation in some countries in the previous years. So, but many people do not really understand this issue. And I thought there is a need to clarify that. For example, now in the survey, which we about a minute ago, we had almost half of the people saying that we are not recognized. But what is that recognition? When I did the survey a few weeks ago, then there were varied responses. Some people saying it is not a mandatory requirement, it is not a respectful, and all many things. So that is not that you are not health professional. It is health, being a health professional, what we are talking today is an official position of the health authorities or the proper authorities in your country. For example, most developed countries have this as a non-issue. The medical physicist is a health professional and there is no discrimination at all. So this is the situation in many and most of the developed countries. So this is totally. So this was in early part of 2000 and when IOMP was confronted with this issue. And then IOMP looked at the situation and found that ILO, the International Labour Organization, has a classification of the subjects. So, and that is called International Standard Classification of Occupations. The latest version is 2008, which is 12 years old. So you can imagine how often this is updated. It's once in 10, 20 years. The previous versions were in 1958, 1968, after 10 years, and then after 20 years. So when we looked at the issue and we wanted to approach the ILO, we were confronted this issue that when will be the next one? And the IOMP leadership at that time was told that the next is coming in 2008. So IOMP leadership at that time pursued actively with ILO and that it could really get it included in the ILO system of classification, but under the physicist and as physicists and astronomers. So then the leadership had to try with the ILO to make it included as a health profession. So ultimately the corollary was issued that medical physicist is included, is part of the health profession. So since this was a hot topic during the early part of this century, so we were thinking how to solve this further. And that is where the basic safety standard came. So basic safety standard is something like a Bible for many countries. They have to adopt it in toto or with slight adaptation. So the IAEA is the one who coordinates efforts and so many organizations, European Commission, FAO, IAEA, LO, NEA, PAHO, UNEP, WHO, all of them are signatory to this document. And so this is a document which takes as much as 3 to 5 years to be updated or brought out. And it is a consensus document. So these official organizations have to go through the proper procedure to be signatory to that. And all the member countries of IAEA also have to be signatory to that. So this document has, as Ola mentioned that medical physicist, the definition itself says a health professional. So the point is that you are health professional in any way by all definitions of WHO and all that. But question is officially whether in your country you are recognized or not, that is an issue. If not, then this is where IOMP in collaboration with IAEA and other organizations had made sure that the definition itself covers it. So if your country do not have this and you face this problem, then you should deal with the countries. I will go to the next, but let me now with this clarification, let me get back to the next poll to have the situation now. So only if you have been told by your country that your profession is not included in the list, then only you should respond yes, not by other aspects of the matter. So let me share the screen once again and go to the next poll. All right, have you been officially informed that medical physics is not recognized as a health profession by your government or authorities? All right, so let me share the results. I see almost now it goes down to half. So only 22% of the people are saying yes now. So that means that clarification is the one which is needed and it is helpful. So if you, for these 22%, if this has, if that is the situation, analyze why it has, whether you have used this WHO, this IAEA and WHO and all combined document, and analyze why it has not worked, and still not, if then your national organization you should contact, or the regional organization, or ultimately you can also come to the IOMP. I think I will stop here and I will move to the next speaker from Europe. I will introduce Admas. He is, just a minute. He is the chair of the European Federation of Organization of Medical Physics, Professional Matters Committee, and member of the IFOMP's Board of Officers since 2018. He is member of the Medical Ethics and Research Committee in Netherlands, an expert panel of European Union on medical devices. So over to you, Ed, please carry on.
Thank you, Madam, and welcome all in this IOMP webinar on the occasion of the International Day of Medical Physics. Yes, I first would like to start to give you some facts and figures about Europe. Please, next one. Yes, it has 46 sovereign countries, and population ranges from 1,000 to 145 million citizens. So we have very small and very big countries. Surface areas of these states also vary from 0.5 to 17 million square kilometers. 27 countries are united in the European Union, and these comprise 445 million citizens, and these countries have a square surface of 4.5 million square kilometers. Okay, now let's go to the medical physics community. And these are united in IFOMP, the European Federation of Organizations of Medical Physics. 36 countries are united in this federation. 36 NMOs, national member organization, represent about 9,000 medical physicists in Europe. And you may say these are the medical physicists, the number of medical physicists actually working in Europe. Can I have the next one, please? Okay, and the fields of interest, of course, I have heard it already in earlier representations. Radiotherapy, diagnostic imaging like PET, MRI, ultrasound, nuclear medicine, radiation protection, which is quite important. I will come back to that. Hospital physics, which is more the work in the operating theater and the intensive care wards, and non-ionizing radiation, like the use of medical lasers. Okay, the long road to recognition of medical physicists is very important, as said before by several other speakers. Step one is collaborate. Set up a medical physics society. You need one in your country. Make clear to the public what is a medical physicist. Next, Europe has more than 36 national societies for medical physicists. So step one is more or less fulfilled. Next step, the second step, education and training. Set up a national registration scheme in your country. And already 22 national member organizations of IFOMP have a registration scheme running. And now 5 are considering to set up one. Okay, next one. That makes and brings us to step 3, approval. Take care that you have your national registration scheme acknowledged by government and by IFOMP. Next one, yes. And it shows that already 18 national registration schemes in Europe, in European countries, are directly or indirectly approved by their government. And 4 of them are approved by IFOMP after a thorough evaluation. Step 4, be visible, be visible. Be visible by cooperating with medical and nursing staff. Very important. Next one, which is close to that, teach medical and nursing staff and get involved as a medical physicist in medical research. And the last stop, maybe the most important, cooperate. Join the medical communities as far as you can reach them. Next, and the last slide now, the medical physics expert as a healthcare professional, because that's what he and she is. What's a medical physics as physicist expert? Don't make it too difficult. Next one. Yes, a medical physics expert is a scientist, a health professional trained in physics and mathematics with a good knowledge, also very important, of medicine and the clinical practice in healthcare. Its fields of interest may be radiation protection. We have already heard a reference to the basic safety standards, but also the European report on radiation protection 174 is also important. Furthermore, other fields of interest are oncology and radiotherapy, medical imaging, all therapeutic and diagnostic devices used by medical doctors and nurses. And also quite new are the use of artificial intelligence in new medical equipment. Last but not least, recognition. Nowadays, in most countries in Europe, a form of recognition for medical physicists exists, from radiation expert to a full staff member. Okay, that's for now. Thank you for your attention, and please have all a very nice day of International Day of Medical Physics today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. We'll go to the next presentation by Dr. Hassan Kharitha. He is representing the Middle East Organization of Medical Physics Societies. He's Director of Radiation Safety at Hamad Medical Corporation in Qatar. And he is a medical physicist specialized in diagnostic radiology and health physics. He is Secretary General of MIFOMP. Hassan, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Madan, and happy International Medical Physics Day. Thanks for all the presenters who already set the platform for this medical physicist as a health professional. I will speak about the Middle East countries. So we are in MIFOM, established in 2009 as a federation for all organizations of medical physicists in the Middle East. We have 12 countries from Bahrain, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, UAE, Yemen, and these 12 countries as well, it varies with inhabitants and in surface area. So similar to Europe, we have as many as 40 million in big countries and as few as 1 million in small countries. I would like to say a few words here that medical physicists as well. I like the two questions from Madan. You know, if we took the first question as, is medical physicist a health professional in your country? And based on our, if you look, there's two colors here, the black one with the published information and the blue one is recent result. And you can say only 75% of the people of the countries recognize medical physicists. But if we use the second questions used by Madan as well, that are you told that medical physicist is not a health professional. We find only one negative result from one country in the region, so that makes it less than 10%. But I would go with the 75%, that 75% of the country recognize health physics as a health professional. Also, as Madan said as well, that there's still a lot of legal issues attached to this point, but I would take it as in the survey result and in the published result, we have 75% of the country recognizing medical physicists. How about the number? We have the numbers, a healthy average of about 7 medical physicists per 1 million inhabitants in the region. But unhealthy distribution, actually, we can start as few as 0.3 in Yemen, compared to about 23 medical physicists per million in Bahrain, or about 20 in Saudi Arabia. So it's unbalanced distribution. However, the average value is not too bad. If I move to the second slide, then we can see in the second slide, sorry, the uses of radiation, especially in radiotherapy, teletherapy, I used it, and CT as one indicator for diagnostic radiology. And I used as well medical physics equipment, nuclear medicine equipment as well an average for the use of medical physics nuclear medicine in the country. And we can find that on average as well, we have 0.7 teletherapy machine per 1 million inhabitants, as well the distribution from 0.1 to about a large number like 2.8 per million. Whereas the CT as well, it varies a lot, but we have a big number of CTs per 1 million inhabitants. If you look at the nuclear medicine, probably it as well varies from one country to another, but on average it's 1.7 machine, nuclear medicine machine per 1 million inhabitants. And we can see some countries have 8 almost in Kuwait, whereas some other country have 0.1. Okay, so that tells you that, you know, as user, we on average, we are an average user in the world. The number of medical physicists as well is a healthy number. I mean, if you compare to the total number in Europe, the last survey with the IEA 2016, it was 18 medical physicists per 1 million inhabitants. This is recommended as well as a result of the demonstration, the survey. Whereas here, an average of 7 is a healthy number for us. Sorry, I had to squeeze all the information on only these 3 slides as requested by Dr. Doheny. So I hope I cover this issue as good as possible. But as a result, medical physicist is not fully recognized in the whole area. Some countries, they are recognized. And hopefully the steps mentioned by many of my previous speakers about being involved, working, you know, proactively, participating in different issues in medical physics, like artificial intelligence, like, you know, the fight against COVID, etc. That will give us more recognition in reality. But we have to fight as well in some country with the legal status of medical physicist. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Hassan. We'll go over to Latin America, and we have the president of IDmp, Dr. Sandra Guzman. She is also president of the Peruvian Society of Medical Physics, university professor and clinical medical physicist in radiotherapy with more than 18 years of experience. Sandra, over to you, please.
Thanks. Good morning. I want to congratulate the medical physicists for this special day. As president of IDmp, I'm going to present the situation of medical physics in Latin America. Next, please. As we can see, here the rate of cancer is growing as age increasing in our region. This means that will be a need for medical physicists. The total number of these professionals is approximately 1,449. There are countries where the number of these are very little, and 75% of them, more or less, are dedicated of radiotherapy. Next, please. In this case, education and human resources has not been uniform throughout the region, so each country has its own requirements. Also, master programs include clinical training and residence programs cover the areas radiotherapy, diagnostic imaging, nuclear medicine, and radiognostic protection. Universities are responsible maintaining the standard. By the other hand, in accreditation of an academic programs, they according to each country legislation. In addition, this accreditation process is voluntary. The object is to reach defined standard. Most of Latin American countries don't have this accreditation. In the region, we have academic formation for bachelor degree with a duration from 4 to 5 years. At a postgraduate level, we have for specialization from 1 to 3, master from 1 to 2, and doctorate from 2 to 5 years. Next, please. Okay, thanks. Accordingly, in clinical training in medical physics, they are limited. These training programs are structured around the residence hospitals. In Latin American, medical physics training programs are not standardized. It's not recognized as a health professionals, and medical physics is mandatory only in radiotherapy in the most countries. From IOMP, our objective or our principal objectives is to work on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandra. We go to Africa. Ige Taufik is the person who is president of the FAMPO at the moment. He was the one who was Secretary General of FAMPO when the FAMPO was started. He is Chief Consultant Physicist and Head of Medical Physics Department. Taufik, to you. You have to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam, and good day, colleagues all over the world. On behalf of the medical physicists in Africa, I want to congratulate all of us on this very great occasion today. With respect to the facts and figures, Africa has 54 countries with about 1.2 billion population. Half of these countries have radiotherapy facilities. It's a little bit less with nuclear medicine facilities. And we have about 1,000 medical physicists in the region right now, with 10 countries having academic programs, and only 6 of these so many countries with clinical programs. Next slide, please. Yeah, with respect to the detailed workforce of medical physicists in the region, in a recently published paper earlier on this year, this gives the breakdown, of the 1,000 number medical physicists in Africa, with a preponderance of these figures coming from Algeria, Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Nigeria, South Africa, and Tunisia. Next slide. With respect to the theme of this year's celebration on the recognition of medical physicists as health professionals, out of these so many numbers of countries in the region, it's only 6 that have the governmental backing as a recognized profession among the health professionals. And this is Algeria, Ghana, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. Apparently, the remaining 48 countries, out of this, we have about 30 of the entire country in the regional federation. 6 of these only has this recognition, with the remaining 24 to 26 still struggling and at different stages of bringing this about. As part of the IDMP celebration in the region, which we have fixed for Tuesday, 10th of November, in order not to clash with the mother body celebration that is happening today, the discussion will be to really tap on the knowledge of these 6 countries on how they were able to bring this about, so that we don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. We'll probably try to take lessons, from them on how to really bring it about in the other countries. Although we are cognizant of the fact that a number of the countries are still at different stages of trying to get their governmental authorities to really make this happen. This presentation has to be just like following on what Hassan has said. The IOMP president has restricted this to just 3 slides, and I hope we have been able to convey the status situation in Africa. And on this occasion, again, I want to congratulate all the medical physicists in the world, and particularly to our colleagues whose names have just been unveiled as the awardees of the International Day Medical Physics 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Taufik. And since we are running short of time, we have to rush. And now over to Asia. Dr. Chogle is the chair of Education Training Committee of IOMP. He is senior professor and head of the radiological physics. And I believe, Arun, you have to be going also immediately after the presentation. You have another assignment. So over to you, Arun. Unmute. Magdalena, can you see in the chat box if he sent some message, because he had to go, and I don't have access to chat box when I am having the projection mode.
I do not see any message from him.
Arun, are you there?
Just unmute your microphone.
Can you, Magdalena, check?
Yeah, now she has allowed me.
Okay.
I'm just asking 3-4 mails also. I sent it to allow me to do.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Madan Rehani, for giving us the opportunity. I wish everyone the happy International Medical Physics Day, and congratulate all the medical physicists who has won the IDMP 2020 award. Asia Oceania Federation of Organization for Medical Physics (IOMP) was founded in year 2000, and it is one of the largest RO of the IOMP. And today we have 19 members, NMOs, and 2 are affiliate. And almost about 9,500 medical physicists. And the new survey we are conducting, it is going up to 10,000 medical physicists in Asia Oceania Federation region. This is one of the largest continent. More than 4.5 billion people live, 60% of the population in this area. And every country has its own regulations, own laws. It's not like a European Union amalgamation. So every country has started its medical physics education its own way. And therefore, harmonization of a medical physics is very difficult in IOMP. However, in last 20 years, a rapid change has happened in medical physics, their status, education, and the visibility. Next one. Next one. Yeah. So various status of the medical physics in Asia Oceania, diverse culture, social, education, economical, shortage of medical physics in Asia countries, initially insufficient clinical training program, fewer qualified medical physicists still, because the population is huge, number of cancer patients very huge. And if you look at the number, even if you have 9,500 medical physicists for a population of 4.5 billion, for 2.2 medical physicists for 1 million, we are far, far below 18 medical physicists required for 1 million population. And also the migration of the medical physicists to Europe and America, that is happening. There's a lack of recognition, and not very good students are coming to medical physicists. The things are changing, have changed. And we look at the countries, it is starting from the New Zealand to Iran are the members of the IOMP. And as I told you, 19 are the members and 2 are affiliate member. And you look at the number, almost about 9,200, 9,300 into this, where Pakistan and Sri Lanka is not yet the affiliate or members, and population here, and 2.2 medical physicists per million. Medical physics education program, almost in 17 countries, medical physics education program is happening, and 106 institutions or universities are conducting masters in medical physics, except Vietnam, where it is a bachelor, and next year it will be starting the masters in medical physics program. And almost about 700 plus medical physicists are post-graduating every year. And 6 years the survey was conducted. That time around 60 institutions or universities were conducting the masters in medical physics, and around 300. So you can say in 6-7 years, almost the universities or institutions imparting the medical physics education has doubled, and the number also has been doubled. The situation is very, very different and contrast. Many countries have been medical physicists are health professionals, health workers. Some are not yet. And to name Indonesia, there is a law that the medical physicists are the health professional. Korea also same. And on the 2nd November this year itself, in Thailand, the law has been passed, and they are the health profession as per the law. But there are many other professional organizations, other bodies are recognizing the medical physicists as the health professionals, and things are moving. Most of the medical physicists, almost 75%, work in radiotherapy, and hardly about 15% they work in radiology. The contrast in Vietnam, almost 60% medical physicists work in radiology. That is because of the law. There is a law that radiology department must have services of the medical physicists. But I can assure and I can show that the things are changing very fast. The technology is getting adopted as in USA or in Europe, and the number of medical physicists getting training, getting and then 3 medical education program from Korea has been accredited by the IOMP accreditation program. Also, IMPCB has accredited the Hong Kong and Korea, the accreditation board. So overall, the situation is improving, and we are very hopeful. Only problem is a huge population, and the demand is huge. With this thing, once again, I thank IOMP, congratulate each one of you, International Medical Physics Day. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I have to leave because 6:30 I have another program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you for presenting the IOMP side as a president of IOMP. Now we go to the CFOMP, the Southeast Asian Association, and Dr. Freddy Haryanto is the president of CFOMP. Without spending any more time, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Madan. No problem. This is the first slide from my talk. Hello, everybody. It's a happy day for your IDNP. And let me present the medical physics situation in the Southeast Asia Organization of Medical Physics. Our society started actually, sorry, madam, can you go back again to the first slide? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it started in year 2000, and this year we celebrated also the same like IOMP, There's the 20th anniversary, and our member country have about diversity not only in the term of their line size, but also the population and the gross domestic product. Therefore, the number of medical physics per million population is varies among us. Next slide, please. Here you can see in our chart, and please click one more. Thank you. See how the inspiration of the medical physicists in our member. There's from Brunei, Laos, and also Myanmar. You can see in the Zoom chart, and the number is very low in our society. But according to the area like Brunei, actually according to the 4 medical physicists, the 4 countries that above the average ratio has a medical physicist, like a Brunei here, and then Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. As the established of medical physicists was around 1,950 in radiotherapy, nuclear medicine, and also radiodiagnostic. The medical physicists in our society are almost recognized as a health professional by their government. Maybe in some countries, there's only on from the hospital. The number of medical physicists in radiotherapy is currently 50%. In nuclear medicine is 10%, and while the number in diagnostic radiology is 30%. But in the case in Philippines and also in Indonesia, there's another difference. There's only many medical physicists in radiodiagnostic. And then maybe next, Madam. Thanks. Now it is the last my presentation. I just want to share about the professional society in our member. Actually, our member have this national society. Not only 3 members that don't have a national society, namely Brunei, Laos, and also Cambodia. But our society, it means that the CFOM still help them to develop this national society. And I would like to mention that the medical physicists in our region, in this ASEAN country, please, if you don't have any recognized from your government or from your hospital, please to contact the national society in your country. Thank you. That's the last my talk, Madan.
Thank you. We are already past 2 minutes of the time. So let us see. I did not have any access to the chat when I was projecting, so I have not been keeping at all in touch with that. Quickly for a few minutes, let me see. I will go from the bottom, but still medical physics profession is see, as somebody is asking, but still medical physics profession is on the physics and astronomy. In ILO, as you saw, after 2008, they haven't brought anything up in when they bring out new, so then it is, one has to see. But as I said that in IAEA basic safety standard, everything is there. So let me see quickly if there is any other. Okay. Okay. There are many English mistakes. Okay. There. Okay. I do not know.
There is a question about the medical physics, the Russian medical physics. Are they belonging to the European or to the Asian?
Ed, will you like to answer this?
Unmute yourself, Ed.
Yes, thank you. Russia is a member of IFOM, but unfortunately, and I regret that very much, they are not very active, our colleagues there. There is some communication, but there is still room for more activity from Russia.
Thank you. Ibrahim, if you see some other good question which needs to be attended to, can you spot that? Because
yes, I have a question also from Palestine. I think she's a medical physicist, that she's saying that in Palestine there is no radiotherapy treatment there. And she's asking if there is any support. And I think Yakov he replied to her that to contact him and see how can he help.
All right. Any other question you see? I see somebody, consequence of lack of recognition of medical physicists may include hostility to medical physicists from manager, this, okay. That is a comment.
Yeah, many of these are greetings from different countries, and that's very thought of them.
Okay, so if you have been looking at that, if you don't see anything which really needs to be attended to, then we can call it a day. Magdalena, can you present the slide for the next webinar? So our next webinar is on November 24th. That is organized by the chair of our publication committee. Can you share the slide? Yeah. So publishing in medical physics journals. Professor Paolo Russo is the editor-in-chief of European Medical Physics Journal, European Journal of Medical Physics, Physica Medica, and Uliana is one of the editorial board members. So they will be talking to us on November 24th. I think with that, I will like to thank each and every one of you for your participation today. Hope you found the deliberations of some use. Although we should have much more time, but we have preferred to keep within 60 minutes. And today there are many celebrations going over in various countries of IDMP, and there are assignments people have in those. So with that, I will not extend too much to further deliberations. Among the panelists, if anyone has anything to say, if not, I will, any of the panelist members has anything to add or say?
Just to say, stay safe from COVID-19.
Thank you.
I would like to thank you for the initiative. It's very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed.
And to thank everybody for attending this meeting today. And thanks to Madan for putting this together with Magdalena. Thanks.
Thank you, Taufik. So I wish to thank all the panelists for bringing in information from their region, from their perspective for the benefit of everyone. And thanks all the participants. And once again, a very, very, very happy International Day of Medical Physics 2020, which despite this current unusual circumstances, we have been able to get together like this. And IOMP has been happy to keep on organizing twice a month these webinars. And we have already the webinars lined up till December 1st part. And for the next 2021, we are going to have a meeting and discuss that. If you have any suggestions, please send us email. You can send email to me and we will consider that. So thank you once again, and thank you to Magdalena for managing the technical aspects, organizational aspects. And thank you very, very much. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful celebrations, whosoever has done. And thanks to those who have already done celebrations. Please send your report to us and we will put it on the IOMP website. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day.